Still here with Jim Tornes talking about his marathoning experiences. And Jim, we just wanted to ask you what your most memorable marathons were.
Certainly one of the highlights would be the Athens, Greece marathon, the original marathon from the little town named Marathon into Athens to announce the victory of the Greek soldiers in 490 BC. And a runner by the name of Philippides, of course, everyone knows he died at the end of that. I felt pretty close to it when I finished.
What was his name?
Philippides.
And he was the first marathoner?
Yes, he was the first one to run that distance to announce the victory of the Athenians over the Persians. The hills of Marathon are famous, and they're marble. I was astonished to see that. Before the race, the runners are all looking for a place to go to the bathroom before the race starts, and so all through the hills were all these people behind whatever shrubs they could find.
Wow.
Or marble cliffs.
The rock there was marble, and the stadium in Athens, when we finally reached it, was made of marble. It looked like about a 2/3 size Ohio Stadium, but it's pure white marble. It's as white as that table. And the race finished at that point. They didn't have the stadium there when Philippides did it. He ran to the palace.
He ran straight to the palace.
Yeah. But the race director for the Athens Marathon is himself a marathoner, but he said he wasn't going to run it because the air is so polluted. The final 6 miles of the race was held on a highway leading into Athens, and the runners were allotted one of the 2 center lanes of the road. The other lane, the 3 lanes, were occupied by huge trucks and buses with exhaust pipes about that big, belching out black, sooty smoke. The air was terrible.
I hope you wore a mask.
No.
And I remember you telling me that in terms of your most memorable marathon, that the New York Marathon was your first back in 1979, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And you were 49 at the time, or 48? 49 at the time.
Yes. Yeah, it certainly was. What a thrill to start on the Verrazano Narrows Bridge. It's about a 2-mile-long bridge, and they had Frank Sinatra singing along the side, and the broadcast, he still does by recording. Singing New York, New York.
Was he there live?
Wow.
Yeah,
he was there live?
Wow.
Wow.
Cool.
And it was just such a thrill to run through those neighborhoods, wherever you would go. Friendly people, millions of them out cheering you on. It's just great fun.
And you ran Boston, the Boston Marathon. You qualified and ran the Boston Marathon 4 times, correct?
Correct. The most recent was 1996 for the 100th Boston Marathon. And the final one will, of course, be this year, November 1st.
And what would you say of all this marathoning, if you had to pick one lesson that you learned or that kind of came to you along the way, what would you say that would be?
Oh, just learn to be sensible and take things in a reasonable pace instead of going out thinking you're going to run a 3-hour marathon each time. Run as well as you can and don't overdo it. Be conservative and run 20 miles comfortably, and if you still feel good at 20 miles, then you
get on the bus.
Let it have all.
And then you can let it go.
Yeah.
Leave it out. Leave it all out there.
Get on the subway.
Jim Tornes, marathoner, inspiration. Thanks for
Artiste
talking with us today.
extraordinaire.
Thanks for your interest.
Renaissance guy.